In this session, we explore the mechanics of projection, focusing on Chapter 13, Section X, Laying Guilt Upon Your Brother. Our aim is to understand how guilt is projected, how it shapes our perception of others, and how this process can be reversed to restore clarity, responsibility, and inner peace. Guilt is presented here not as a passive feeling, but as an active veil that hides truth, or the Father. The mind uses guilt as an attack, deliberately blocking inner light. As we study this, consider guilt less as emotion and more as a mental strategy that maintains separation and obscures our awareness of truth. This diagram outlines the anatomy of projection. Inner guilt creates unbearable pressure, which generates fear of punishment. To escape, the mind condemns others, projecting guilt outward. That attack then reinforces belief in sin, looping us back to deeper guilt. Condemnation, therefore, is the root of every attack. Here we see how time is weaponized. The past holds the original sense of sin. The future is imagined as certain punishment. The present is bypassed, becoming a dead zone in the ego's plan. When we feel guilty, we continually condemn, chaining the future to the past and never pausing to question this linkage. Fidelity to the ego's laws has a cost. The padlock symbolizes strict loyalty to darkness. No new light or perspective is allowed. The sleeping eye shows how awakening is actively forbidden. The mind must stay unconscious to preserve guilt. Remaining loyal to this system means choosing darkness over awareness. The dilemma of the punisher is central to projection. To enforce punishment on another, I must believe I am under the same law. Every act of condemnation silently confesses my own terror of being guilty. The ego's strict laws ensure that those who condemn feel equally bound and threatened by punishment. An intervening variable is required to break the chain between past and future. The text calls this the laws of God entering the system. The cycle of guilt cannot be ended from within the ego's timeline. It needs a vertical drop of grace, an external principle that interrupts and dissolves the pattern of condemnation. The function of the atonement is described in terms of light. It does not battle darkness, it simply shines. When true perception is present, the chain of guilt dissolves rather than being forced open. Atonement stands like a lamp between us and our illusions, making the darkness we bound ourselves with disappear. The power of the present lies in being the only point where atonement operates. Guilt needs a remembered past and a feared future to survive. When the mind rests fully in the continuous present, the holy instant, the architecture of the ego collapses. Without temporal anchors, guilt has nowhere to attach. This comparison matrix contrasts two masters. The laws of the ego are strict, punishing, and link past to future, demanding darkness and projecting guilt. The laws of God are gentle and releasing, anchoring us in the present, bringing light and awakening, offering atonement, and seeing each person as a partner in innocence. Perception shifts dramatically with atonement. Before, the brother is a container for our projected guilt, a scapegoat that sustains the ego's timeline. After atonement, we refuse to lay guilt upon him. The chain of time breaks, and the brother is recognized as a shared partner in perfect innocence, not a target for blame. The holy meeting place represents the end of isolation. When we withdraw condemnation, the mind leaves its private dark dream and enters unseparated reality. Here, the Father and the Son meet in the Holy Spirit. This shared space of light symbolizes a unified mind, free from guilt and projection. We conclude with a three-step path of release. First, recognize the trap. Condemning others only deepens your own guilt. Second, invite intervention. Allow the light of atonement into the present moment instead of relying on the ego's timeline. Third, behold the brother. Choose to see innocence, dissolving the chain of darkness. This closing quote summarizes the entire teaching. Atonement stands between us and our illusions like a brilliant lamp. Its light is so strong that the chain of darkness we forged around ourselves simply disappears. Our task is to accept this light and allow it to redefine how we see ourselves and one another.